I'm Jake Rahman and I'm going to walk you through the Ventway Sparrow. Innovitec wished to develop the most high-performance transfer ventilator, which was ultralight and robust. Weighing in at around 1 kilogram with a small footprint, it can really fit into the limited space of a modern paramedic team. It can be used for patients needing both non-invasive and invasive mechanical ventilation. The Ventway Sparrow has been designed and built especially for mobility and intuitive operation with its user-friendly interface. It can be used for various scenarios when mechanical ventilation is required. The Ventway Sparrow is extremely simple to operate. Practitioners with the appropriate training in mechanical ventilation can be using the ventilator within minutes. It's turbine operated, so uses ambient air from the surroundings, and therefore is not reliant on piped oxygen. But when using piped oxygen or cylinder oxygen, its consumption is very low. It can be operated using a battery that provides up to 4.5 hours of high quality ventilation and increases operational safety, but can also be operated from the mains power. If you'd like to find out more, please follow the link below and we'll be glad to help. The Ventway Sparrow was designed with a number of characteristics in mind: to be easy to use, comfortable to handle, and to be effective and strong, assuring that it can be used both in and out of hospital environments, such as EMS and for military deployment. The Ventway Sparrow is very lightweight, small and a portable device. However, the size does not limit the power, which is equivalent to a ventilator 5 times its size. Because of its use of a turbine, it is self-sufficient, not needing an additional oxygen source to operate, and instead, in its transfer mode, it uses ambient air. Fitting with both invasive and non-invasive ventilation mode, it has 4 different modes of ventilation. Let's talk about safety first. It is advisable the Ventway Sparrow is only used by trained and qualified practitioners. The complete safety instructions are available in the Ventway Sparrow user manual and should be thoroughly read and adhered to before use. Let's take a closer look at the Ventway Sparrow. On the front panel of the device, there are 4 components. 1. The control knob or jog wheel. 2. The digital display. 3. The control sensor tube port, which contains the pressure and flow measurement port, the pressure measurement port, and the expiratory valve port or control tube. 4. The port for the patient circuit or gas outlet. On the rear of the device, there are 7 different components. 1. Air or low pressure oxygen inlet. Situated behind this is the filter, which must be replaced after every 300 hours of use. The Ventway Sparrow will give a notification to the user that the filter needs to be replaced. 2. The power supply, which also charges the battery. 3. The USB port. This can be used for downloading of information on usage and for technical service information. 4. The power button for both on and off. 5. The battery pack lock, and the battery pack itself is number 6. This is a safety lock in order to secure the battery properly. The lock slides down to secure the battery. When slid up, the glass of the battery are then pressed to remove the battery and replace it with a charged one. This operation can be complete in a matter of seconds to minimise the downtime of the ventilator. And 7, finally coming back to the left-hand side of the ventilator, this is where the anti-asphyxia valve is located. This valve is used if either side of the patient circuit becomes blocked or occluded for any reason. The Ventway Sparrow has 3 external components. 1. The patient circuits. These are single-use circuits and are especially designed for the Ventway Sparrow. The adult circuit is 1.8 meters long and is designed for patients weighing over 15 kilograms. The pediatric circuit, also 1.8 meters long, is designed for patients weighing from 5 kilogram to 15 kilograms. The patient circuit has the sensor tubes attached to it. The PEEP mechanism is within the patient circuit. PEEP can be increased by turning clockwise and decreased by turning anti-clockwise. The movement depresses and releases a membrane within the circuit so the clinician can choose the desired PEEP value. On the patient circuit, the end which is connected to the Ventway Sparrow can only be connected in one way, assuring that the sensor tubing orange line is facing upwards. At the end of the patient circuit, a HME filter must be added before attaching to the patient airway adjunct. Endotracheal tube, supraglottic airways, for instance, can be used, as well as a face mask for ventilation. 2. To use high-flow oxygen for the Ventway Sparrow, a Novitec also supply an oxygen mixer. The oxygen mixer can supply different levels of oxygen supply, ranging from 30 to 90%. This can be set by simply turning the dial to the desired level of oxygen. The oxygen mixer is connected to the rear of the panel and secured using the safety ring. The oxygen mixer can then be connected to an external piped oxygen source, so high-flow oxygen therapy can be applied. 3. The Ventway Sparrow also comes with a low-flow oxygen enrichment kit. This acts as a reservoir of air. When opened fully, this can contain up to 700 ml of air that can be supplied to the patient. When connected to the oxygen cylinder, the patient can receive up to 100% of oxygen. The end of the oxygen enrichment kit is connected to the air or oxygen inlet on the rear of the ventilator, like this. The thin tubing is then connected to the oxygen cylinder. The open end of the enrichment kit must remain clear and must not be occluded. To test the Ventway Sparrow ventilator, we have to take a single-use patient circuit. Let's remove the blue cap, attach the patient circuit as shown before with the orange line facing upwards, and simply press the jog wheel. It should take around about 12 seconds. The ventilator is now ready for use. Let's take a closer look at the display. Once the circuit has been tested, you will be asked to enter the approximate weight of the patient. Please remember that the Ventway Sparrow is not compatible for neonatal patients, but can be used for patients that weigh as little as 5 kilograms, but not below that weight. Once the weight has been chosen, you will enter the ventilation mode screen. There are 3 modes of ventilation that can be selected. SIMV, VC, Synchronized Intermittent Mandatory Ventilation, Volume Control. SIMV, PC, Synchronized Intermittent Mandatory Ventilation, Pressure Control. And CPAP, Continuous Positive Airway Pressure. The glossary and abbreviations are available within the user manual and within the product presentation regarding safe usage and ventilation modes. After choosing the ventilation mode, you will be asked to select the mode of airway or intubation. Invasive, which can include all types of invasive airway or intubation, endotracheal tube or supraglottic airway for instance, eye gel or laryngeal mask. You can also choose non-invasive adjuncts or a nebulizer. Once complete, you will be instructed to connect the patient to the ventilator using the tested patient circuit. Simply pressing the jog wheel will start the ventilator. Let's start it.